I could help, if I may.
This is a demonstration
So,
of Flip for Mac.
what would happen if we were going to move forward with this? We would draft a scope of work, okay? And that scope of work would not only have the input of Alex and Tammy and Public Works and others on the staff, and that would become the scope of work. We would bring that scope of work back to City Council, probably after listening to your comments today, not in a report.
This is a demonstration of Flip for Mac.
Got it, Roger, you got that.
For your input, after we ran it through perhaps the PRAC and maybe even the planning board to make sure that there wasn't some information they would want to see included that we didn't think of. And then there would be, I guess under the new process that you all are advocating, that we would have a resolution proving that scope of work in which the public can come in
This is a
and be a
demonstration
hearing and you can
of
get
Flip
input
for
at
Mac.
that point. One more, so that'd be the third input point on that, one at PRAC, one at planning board, and then at city council. And then if that became the final scope of work, then we would actually put it out in the street and solicit firms to submit proposals to do that scope of work. So we're just telling you at this point that the PRAC on its own, one of the members went out to get a ballpark
This is a
estimate of what it would
demonstration
take
of Flip for Mac.
to do their scope of work that they envisioned, and they estimated that to be $40,000.
Ms. Roman, are you finished?
Yes, thank you.
So, Mr. Manager, I very much appreciate the way you put that response. That was extremely helpful. I'll make a comment and leave it totally up to your judgment as to whether you incorporate this or not. You've got to manage the process, not I.
This is a demonstration of Flip for Mac.
But I like what you said. The meeting minutes from July the 8th reflect that that the City Council approved, quote, to update the master plan with a site development plan for Veterans Park for $250,000. There were two arguments that day, as you recall. One was what the money was for, and in
This
that
is a
argument,
demonstration
Councilor
of Flip for
Honig
Mac.
prevailed that it would be an update of the master plan with a site development plan, and the other argument was the money, and Councilor Honig lost that, and the money was left in at $250,000. So the way you responded would be exactly what I would do, which is you figure out what's the right order to get this done, and what exactly does that mean, update, and how will we go about
This is a
doing it, and who will do it, and
demonstration of
what's the
Flip for
process
Mac.
for council being involved, and the planning board, and the rest. I might suggest, and again, I would rather leave this up to you as the manager. I'll just throw this out, so if my colleagues disagree with me strongly, they can go for it. I might suggest that this should come back directly to City Council, and that the process of going through Parks and Rec and the Planning Board has run its course for this particular time and place. That is,
This is a
everybody has weighed in,
demonstration of Flip for Mac.
and it's time for the council to decide how much money do we want to spend to do what exactly. I mean, I know on the campaign trail I argued, and I will argue when you come back with this, that this would be the ideal time to get a nationally recognized landscape architect to look at the entire plot of land and how it fits in with the Esplanade, how it fits in with Town Center, and whether or not we could make something really exciting and interesting in that area of town. And that could be done
This
for a
is
lot less than
demonstration
$250.
of Flip for Mac.
And I'm happy to lose that argument in a good legislative fight. But I think I'm envisioning something grander, and I think the Parks and Recreation Committee did an outstanding job over a long period of time of interviewing a lot of citizens, and we know what they want. We also have a tremendous number of citizens who weighed in through the process just lost my, thank you.
This is a demonstration
Voting
of
that,
Flip for Mac.
what is the definition of green space, et cetera. I think it's time for us to say, this is how we'll move forward, and this is how we'll spend money and see, and bring the community along at a slow pace. I like very much the way that you put it. Thank you very much. I think, nobody else has any questions?
No.
For you? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I lost my place.
Please.
Say again?
Police.
Thank you, police. Thank you.
This is a
Good evening,
demonstration.
Chairman,